What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man, Saucy. What's happening?
Not a hell of a lot, mate. Not a hell of a lot. Another big week in sports. Obviously, the first official round one in AFL is done. Oh, jeez, got me smoke here off in the side. That's bloody smoking me up out off the screen. But it's all over for one team, Dom. And I think your prediction of Carlton might not make the 8 could actually be bang on. After round one, if that's what we're going to get dished up, and they're going to dish up against a team, especially, right, Doma, that when they were 41 points up, and that's what they've dished out, that's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic.
We'll start with the AFL because, as you know, I was at this game.
Give us the rundown because you were there live and you had cracker seats because I've seen your seats. Yeah. You had good vantage point of the game.
Yeah. I was there with 2 Richmond supporters and then my other mate who's a North supporter. So we obviously went there going for Richmond because we want Carlton to lose, which is pretty obvious. You know, they're playing the bottom team. I'm not going to go support Carlton to beat the team that was supposedly their coaches got no aura and all this shit that they were talking about in the preseason. Like, it was hilarious. Anyway, so I'll give you the rundown of events. Got in the car. We're talking about the game, the 4 of us. 3 of them were just like, Richmond's going to get smashed. And I said, nah, you got to be optimistic. I said, you're playing Carlton. And they're like, oh, Carlton, yeah, but they're going to smash us. And I said, no, you got to be optimistic. I said, if this isn't going to get your optimism up, I tipped Richmond. I tipped them on the pod last week. So there's a timestamp. I said, I tipped them. They go,
send them the video. Crazy. Send them the receipts, mate.
They go, you're crazy. You really tipped them. We're going to get spanked. I said, all right. Anyway, get to the ground, get to our seats, having a laugh. They're getting pummeled. And they're just like, oh, how's your tip now? I said, don't worry about my tip. I said, I'll give you the run of events. And they're like looking at me like, what the hell? I said, this is the run of events. I said, they're going to flog you for a half. All right. They're going to go in at halftime. They're going to come out after halftime, the Blues, thinking that they've won the game. You're going to come back. You're going to run over the top of them and you're going to win this game. And they're just like, shut up. I said, because you know what the game plan for Carlton is? Because they're actually got no game plan. You got like one of the worst coaches ever that was at Brisbane, had the same list, were bottomed out, last, got a new coach, and they won a flag and made, came runners up in a grand final with a new coach. So I said, you do the maths. I said, the guys are dud. I said, they finished 9th last year. They were shit. All right? So they finished in the top 8 the year before. Last year, they finished 9th. They were practically poo. All right? They didn't make any changes to the list to become any better. And you're telling me they're going to finish top 4, like everyone's saying. I said, they're, if not the same or worse than last year. So I said, their game plan is, we're playing Richmond. They've got kids. We don't need to worry about it because they've got debutants and they've got no experience. That was genuinely their game plan. And it was so obvious after halftime. They had zero on intent, and all the young Tiger Cubs, Saucy, were putting their head over the ball. And as soon as the uncontested game style for Carlton of chip kick marks, as soon as the ball hit the deck and the ball was live, they looked like the bottom team of the ladder. Because the young kids were just pouncing on it. And they look rattled. All these experienced guys getting absolutely dominated around the ball. It was hilarious. Mate, you should have seen every goal. We're sitting around all these Carlton supporters. There's Richmond supporters there too, but majority Carlton. Every time Richmond kicked the goal, me and my mate are just laughing, just like hysterically out loud, like peanuts, going, ah! And then when they got in front, we were losing it. We're like, you're a disgrace. Oh, we're just giving it to them. Give it
Surely
to
you were
him.
giving it to Harry Mackay because the bloke was absolutely useless. I mean, why he's that big? It doesn't crush any packs. He's hopeless when the ball goes to ground. Just
My mate,
it,
my
it
mate said, you know what
shambles
my mate
by
said to me?
Carlton
You
after
know what
half
my mate
time.
said? My mate said the moment that Harry and Ben Mackay started their podcast, they became shit.
Yeah, well, I think both Mackays are pretty much duds because that's what I'm seeing with Ben
Oh,
Mackay as well
your
at
one,
Essendon.
your one is poo. I'm so
He's
glad we got rid of him.
North Melbourne's pulled an absolute fast one on us, and he has too because he came out the first 12 games last season and played great, and then he showed his true colours second half of the season, and we're just like, geez, if that's his best and that's his worst, and
The-
you're going to get
yeah,
half and half in a season, that
the
you don't take that, especially when he's your key defender.
yeah. Well,
He's
the
going to
most
have 50% of his games are going to be that bad. 7 touches. He didn't touch the ball till half time. Second half, he didn't touch the ball all first half, Tom. He can go the
well,
whole half without touching the footy.
well, what's him called? Like, I'll give you some key
I'm talking about
outtakes.
Ben Mackay, that is.
Yeah, yeah.
But
A couple,
we're
a
talking about the
couple.
Richmond game.
A,
Well done
a,
to the Tigers. Well done,
well done
Sam
to
Lawler. He looks like an
yes,
absolute stud. He went
yes,
absolutely nuts. I'm not sure if you've seen that, Doma. He celebrated his goal and he's fucking mate. That's why you wear the skins, the short
yes.
skins,
He
so your
did go
nuts don't
nuts.
fall out the bottom, mate. Because
Yes.
I'm not sure if you've seen it, but his pecker and his nutsack fell out the bottom.
Yeah.
He's uncircumcised, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to know,
Oh my
just go
gosh.
watch the video.
Yeah, he's just got a bit excited there, but a few takeaways. De Koning is a gun, and if Carlton is shit, he probably just takes whatever offers on the table from another club and get paid. He dominated. Um, Other promising signs for Carlton? There isn't any. Cripps is just a bull,
But Dom,
and
you
that's
were at the
pretty much
game.
it.
Like, where was the leadership when it started to go the wrong way? Like, where was this leadership from Cripps, Walsh, their senior
Well, Cripps,
players? You know what
well,
I mean?
Cripps was dominating in the middle, trying as hard as he could. Like, so I'm not gonna badmouth Cripps in terms of like leading on the field. He was dominating um in the clearance work. But guys like Walsh, I don't know if he's underdone or I was reading something today. Too many interrupted pre-seasons have finally caught up to him. Like he hasn't had a clean break for like 4 years.
Yeah, it's true.
So he struggled. I don't even know who their other midfielders are. Like Hewitt, Blake Acres. Like who are these guys? I don't know who they are. So you probably name more North Melbourne players than Carlton players, to be honest. Like they're they're genuinely no good, and that's why I said they're not going to make the eight. As much as people think that I was high as a kite or something when I made that prediction, but anyway, they got the job done. The Tigers, they got some good young players there, and I've made some comments about the Tigers in terms of this rebuild, but Lawler looks like a generational talent. Trainer looks very, very good as well, and it looks like a couple of those younger guys from the last few years have started like they're developing and becoming a bit better. But the difference for Richmond was Tom Lynch was on the park. That was
Got
genuinely the
suspended.
difference. He got suspended, but he's the dirtiest player in the game. What do you expect? But that was genuinely the difference because there was someone that could clunk the
Focal
mark
point.
or
Yeah.
bring the ball down for these other kids to cause havoc. They didn't have him for last year because he was injured every 4 seconds. So anyway, well done to the Tigers. They get the win. The next game up on Friday night was the Hawks defeated the Bombers by 26. There's nothing really to get into here, mate. The Hawks are premiership contenders. So
Yeah, look, underestimated the Hawks. Play a good brand of footy, and as I always say, what did I say last week when they beat Sydney? Signs of a good team is team comes back, challenges them, and then they're able to respond. They did that all night. They got the early lead, and when we got back within 18 points, they just kick one and put it back out to 24. And then we might get that back to that 3-goal margin, and they just kick another one, and that response was quick. So, that deflates your team. That was like, your team's like in arm's length, and then, it just keeps, getting a bit further away. So, yeah, look, Hawks are good. They play, a good brand of football. They're
I
able
didn't
to
think
control the ball at times.
I didn't think you guys were too bad. Like,
We were okay in parts. I think, the young bloke, Kako, he's going to be
Kako's
good.
been good.
He's going to be very good. He's got that. It makes defenders nervous when he's around the ball. He's got that sort of um,
Pressure
that
like that. Yeah.
pressure as a small forward. And then there's a few other things that I don't agree with. Like, I don't agree with playing Dylan Shield off half back where, you
No.
need to be a good kick. He's just not a good kick. He turned the ball over going into the middle a few
You might have to
times.
put Martin back there.
The thing is, you play Martin back there and you take away from that run he gives you on the wing, and then he's probably not delivering the ball inside 50 as much where you need him to deliver the ball inside 50.
Yeah.
And then when he plays on the wing, he's able to get on the scoreboard. So it's a catch-22. Like, what do you do as the coach? I think playing
Perkins look
Dylan
good.
back there is no good.
No
Reed
way.
needs more games at it. He
Yeah,
looked
that's
a
right.
bit like off the pace. Obviously a few times he got caught, especially in the first half of the game. So needs to catch up with the pace. It's not VFL. It's a bit of a faster paced game. But yeah, look, not too bad. I expected to lose. Donna, you know that. I tipped on. So yeah, look, not completely disappointed with the performance.
There's two things though that are worrisome for Essendon. Ridley going down again is not
Concussion.
helpful. Yeah, concussion. So you'll miss this week, which isn't great. The other thing is going back into your forward line. The biggest concern is you're relying on a second-year player in Caddy and a first-year player in Kako to be major
Langford done his
options.
hammy.
Yeah, and Langford got injured, so you're in a bit of strife there. Your forward line, where your goals coming from?
Peter Wright's injured, so
yeah, and nothing against that's nothing against Kako and Caddy, but they shouldn't have to carry the load of a whole forward line playing a combined game, not even 20 games combined.
Yeah, I
between
agree.
them. Like, you need someone there so they can develop. I feel sorry for him in that retrospect, but I think you can be all right. You have a good call now. Perkins look really good and promising. Who else is there? Yeah, Perkins is good. Martin's good. You got some really good players, but Merritt's a jet.
Yeah, we've got to see how it goes, and there's
You've
obviously
got to see
some
how you go.
you need to give a bit more time to, and we'll see. Like you're giving more game time to the likes of Sardis, Hobbs, and a few other younger guys. We'll see where it goes. And
Yeah.
Essendon fans, we're not going anywhere this year. We might not even make the 8. If
I
we
said you
do,
finish 6th, but it doesn't look likely.
if
But
we
anyway,
do, I don't know. But
anyway,
don't get excited.
Let's chug along here. The Cats win by 78 points against the Dockers. Mind you, I know everyone's looking at this going, Dockers were missing 7 players in this game. So they had no Sonny Walters, no Shai Bolton, no Sean Darcy. Fifey didn't play. And there was another bunch of guys that didn't play. Taberner. There's a bunch of guys missing. Geelong pretty much had a full squad. Bailey Smith looked unbelievable. Like, he hasn't missed a step. And now the reports are that they're going to get Matt Rowell and Harley Reid in the next 2 years to add to that list, the Cats. So it looks unstoppable because De Koning, the other De Koning at Geelong, looks bloody good as well. So they didn't play Blitzarves in the ruck source. They put Blitzarves has gone back and played in defence.
Yep.
And they played De Koning as the ruck, and now Stewart plays as a swing man. He plays in defence, and then he goes into the centre bounces. Tom Stewart now. So
there you go.
And then going forward, they got Cameron. Dangerfield's practically playing full-time forward. So they've got Dangerfield, Cameron, Stengel,
He's playing forward. I reckon they're nursing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're playing him forward more because probably less workload throughout the season. But I think crunch time, he'll spend some time in the middle. Like when it comes to big games or obviously leading up to games that they must win and stuff like that, and finals if they make it.
They look good, the Cats. They look good. I watched a lot of footy this weekend, so as you can tell. So, Cats look really good. The other game was a lot.
Shout out to the player from Fremantle. I think in the third quarter, he kicked 4 goals in 10 minutes. Just the ball just could not stop finding him.
Murphy
Reed. Reed is his name, yeah.
Murphy Reed or Ryan Reed. Forget his name.
He was just absolutely on fire. The ball just
wasn't Harley Reid, because Harley Reid looked like he'd been on about 10 slabs of beer over the off season. That's how bad he looked, and he was flopping all over the place like LeBron James. I thought he was NBA. I don't know if you saw his flop. I'll bring it up. Don't worry. It was a disgrace. Then we had Sydney versus Brisbane. Lions win by 4 points. 0-2 start for the Swans isn't great. Lockie Neal, funnily enough, shut out of the game, got tagged, copped a hard tag. I think he had like 10 touches for the game. It was practically Dunkley and Zorko took over and just dominated. They lose Kai Lohman, the Jet small forward for them, to an injury. Starcevic out with another concussion. 3rd concussion in 9 months, mind you, for Brandon Starcevic. So
career could be on the line.
Very close, I think. And then Saturday night we had the Pies winning by 91 points against the Power. I told you, Kenny Hinkley, back up the truck, mate. He's just going to run over everybody on the way out the door. James says Lockie Neal Brownlow run starts now.
3 votes he gets on that.
But Collingwood, AFL fans, Collingwood fans, just relax. You played Port, all right? Don't jump the gun. But Houston in the team, the guy's a jet. So the other game, which you were at, Saucy, Dogs versus the Roos. The Dogs, who were practically depleted, played against a full squad North Melbourne team, and they beat
only
us.
Georgie Wardlaw out, and he's got done. Pretty disgraceful, if you ask me. You won the clearances. You just couldn't make most of it. I think you had 25 more tackles as well. Your pressure was up there. It was just, I think in that first half where you had opportunities, you didn't take them and you didn't keep the game close enough. But let's be honest, as much as you didn't keep the game close enough, you got it back to 7 points or 9 points at 3/4 time. And in the 4th quarter, when game was on the line, you literally disintegrated like a hot knife through butter. And it was just the floodgates opened. They went bang, bang, bang. First 6 minutes of the 4th quarter, they kicked 3 goals, and it was all over from there.
Well, we're cooked this week. You do know that, because we lost Big Griffin Logue did his hammy.
All right.
Comben with his ankle might not get up, and then Archer's out for 3 games. So we've lost 50% of our backline in round 1. And as you saw on Saturday night, the biggest hole in the team is our defense.
Yes, it is.
So we've got to rely on Aiden Core and Luke McDonald.
Yeah, look, I don't know if any North fans are like how passionate they are about Luke McDonald, but I tell you what, for an experienced player, that guy makes a lot of mistakes and bad decisions for a guy that shouldn't at that level. And even Simpkin, his ball use at times and his decision making is just really poor.
He turned over the ball like crazy, and that was different.
Yeah, turned over the ball too much, and didn't take your chances. And just sometimes going in 50. I mean, one time you had Larky streaming into an open goal. You just had to hit him running back with the flight, overcook the kick. Obviously, then he has to run onto it, rush, slap it on the boot. He misses it. If he's able to mark that, goes back, set shot, he slots it. It would have been 44. It would have been like 30 meters, not even 25 meters out, 45-degree angle. But you overcook the kick, and those small little skill errors, they just kill you. You probably did enough to win that game, but saying that, the Doggies, they got the job done. And if you're a North supporter, you're sitting there going, how much more depleted do we want the Dogs to be before we actually decide to beat them? If we can't beat that dog side, where are we at as a football club? We definitely haven't improved from last year.
We let Latham Vandermeer beat us. It was terrible. Anyway, onwards and upwards, they say, but we'll see what happens. We'll get to the suspensions in a second. The Crows defeated St Kilda by 63 points. This is a non-talking point, to be honest.
Who's going to finish bottom? St Kilda, North, West Coast,
Richmond. Yeah.
Richmond still.
Yeah. Giants defeat Melbourne at the G. Funnily enough, I saw the Giants posted something. They said, congratulations, we stay undefeated for the whole season at the G. I think that's the only game they play at the MCG.
Crazy.
Yeah, they posted something like that. We're undefeated in 2025. And that's
Until
it.
they got to come back for the grand final, mate.
Yeah, and then get belted by 80 points again or something. So, yeah. Anyway, they get the job done against the Ds, come up clutch, and that's what good teams should be doing anyway, good sides, getting a good win. And then West Coast get given the biggest win ever by the Gold Coast Suns in their footballing history, winning by 87 points over in Perth. And they just gave them a bath. It was embarrassing. Let's get to this week's games and tips, and then we'll jump into the suspensions really quickly. I have to try this here. We've got Blues Hawks Thursday.
Hawks.
Yeah, I'm going Hawks. Dogs Pies Friday at the G.
Pies.
Yeah, it's definitely hot pies again. Essendon Adelaide at the G. Adelaide $1.62 favourites. Adelaide. Gamble responsibly.
Ooh, that's a fair. It's actually a fair point considering it's the injuries that we got. But I'll back us in. I'll go with the Dons.
I'm going Crows.
It's a fair point.
Port Adelaide Richmond at Adelaide Oval. I feel sorry for Richmond supporters. They've got absolutely belted Port, and Richmond have to play them a week after they've got slammed. Saints versus Cats at Marvel.
Cats.
Yeah, I'm going Cats as well. Lions Eagles at the Gabba. Jesus.
Lions. That could potentially be 100 points.
North Melbourne versus Melbourne at Marvel.
Melbourne.
I'm going Melbourne as well. We've got no defenders now. Stephen May didn't even play last week. He was all laid out. He'll be back in. Dockers Swans is the last game in Perth. Sydney could go 0-3 potentially, depending on the Dockers ins this week.
Yeah.
I'm going Fremantle, personally.
Yeah, you got to think Freo's a good chance over there.
I think they get
Sydney must win. Sydney must win, I feel like, for this game.
I think
we might want to go 0-3. Sydney. I'm going to go back Sydney.
Back Sydney. The buys, obviously, because the opening round go to the Suns and the Giants. The ladder, very quickly, is Giants on top, Hawthorn second, then Gold Coast, Geelong, Adelaide, Richmond, Collingwood, Richmond, Footscray. That's the top 8. Then we've got Brisbane just outside the 8 on points, and then on no points are Melbourne, Sydney, North, Carlton, Essendon, Saints, Freo, West Coast, and Port is dead last with a percentage of 33.1. Wow. A few interesting suspension source over the weekend. A few talking points. We'll quickly jump into them. Here's Daisy Thomas.
Might only be round 1 in the books, but
how every AFL fan feels.
Might only be round 1 in the books, but we're off to the tribunal, and these matters, I love it. They get the people talking, so make sure you leave your thoughts and comments below. Jackson Archer, that's going to be the big one. This was a horrific incident live. 3 weeks or 0 is the call, and I think it will be 0. I reckon there'll be an angle showed from the boundary that shows he did try and halt and slow at the last minute, squaring his body, thinking he was going to make a tackle. Obviously, then the shunt coming in from behind and the contact happens. I think that's a footballing act. Same with the one above, Tom Lynch getting shoved in the back from Jacob Wiedering. There's the cause of contact into De Koning. I think that 1 week will be scrapped. And Scrimshaw becomes the interesting one, just there, I think it is. The swinging arm is the issue. I don't think the contact was intentional or overly harsh, but the swinging arm and the AFL don't like that. Give me your thoughts. Leave them below. Big night.
Well, he was wrong on 2.
Which 2?
Archer got his 3 weeks upheld.
Yeah.
And I think Lynch was also upheld at 1 week.
Upheld. Yep.
And the other one ended up getting 3 weeks. So I'm not sure if they challenged that or what they did, the Hawthorn player. So last I heard, it was 3 weeks that he got. You see that all the time, though, in games, Doma, what that Hawthorn player did, swinging the arm into the tackle. It obviously just slid up a bit high and then hit him in the face. It's the fact that he's gone off with concussion for the game that's obviously made that look a lot worse than what it actually looks like when you watch it on replay. So, stiff for the Hawthorn player.
So Scrimshaw, 3 games stays.
Yeah.
As well. No change to any of those 3.
There you go. AFL's back, and the MRO is
as crazy as it sounds. I know people are going to think because it's a North player, but Jackson Archer, if he doesn't knock the guy out, he gets a free kick for taking out his legs.
Yeah, a lot of people said that from the angle that you see, and even at the game, you could sort of have that thought process on it too. That he could have got a free kick, Jackson Archer. So I don't know. It's one of those situations, Doma. It's the outcome, the guy getting knocked out, he's being penalised for that. You know what I mean? If he walks away from that and there's he isn't KO'd and laying on the floor like that and has to get stretched off, maybe he doesn't even get a week.
He probably gets a free kick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to find the Harley Reid flop.
The footage. Oh, the Harley Reid flop. Yeah, look, what can we say, mate? What can we say? Unlucky Archer, but
yeah, it is what it is. It's the AFL.
It is what it is. It's AFL. There's inconsistencies everywhere. You know that.
Even that, Bevo came and backed up Archer. Even Cleary, the player that got knocked out, backed in Archer and said it was just unlucky. He goes, there was no malice in it, but they thought that was going to help their case, but clearly not. So, anyway, it'd be good to start. It's good to start the year with some interesting precedent source because this sets the tone for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it does. So let's see how many howlers they can come up with this year.
The Justin McInerney one as well with Starcevic was so unlucky. It was like a innocuous bump. This is a guy that had 2 concussions leading into this one, and it was like innocuous. He got concussed, and he ended up getting 3 games as well. So a guy that's got a significant concussion history has now got his 3rd concussion, as we mentioned before, in 9 months of football. It's not good. That's like Tua Tagovailoa vibes. And the difference between Tua and Brandon Starcevic, Tua doesn't get hit as much. Like, if you're getting little innocuous ones and you're getting, like, concussed AFL with all the impact, like, I just hope for his health. I hope for his health.
Makes the right call.
Yeah. Let's go to some EP. Yeah, well, you don't want to see anything, obviously, significant brain injuries to people either. So, recent games, mate. Off to the EPL we go. Everton, West Ham 1-1. Southampton, Wolves. Wolves win 2-1. Forest defeat Ipswich 4-2. City and Brighton draw 2-2. Brentford defeat Bournemouth 2-1. Arsenal over Chelsea 1-0. Fulham defeat Tottenham 2-0. And Man United back on the winners board 3-0 over Leicester. Games coming up. No, there's a break. Source. There's a break here, but I know you're going to be very, very interested to talk about these Champions League results, Source, from last week, because there were some very interesting things that that happened. So we had Barcelona advancing. They beat Benfica. Inter defeated Feyenoord. Bayern advance over Leverkusen. Aston Villa beats Club Brugge. Dortmund wins. Arsenal advances. But the two crazy ones, the first one was obviously Real Madrid defeat Atletico in penalties. Obviously, what everyone was saying was a controversial call on the Julian Alvarez penalty at the time. Upon review with the VAR, it was a double touch. So
it was a double touch.
It was a double touch. So no one can
that's
contest
right.
that.
Messi gets away with it in the 2022 World Cup, but Alvarez, pulled up.
But it doesn't matter. We want Real Madrid to win because of the air in Madrid. That's what we are. Well,
we don't because they're coming up against Arsenal, Dom. And you know what the funny is? Someone asked me about it. I said, "Oh yeah, Real's going through," and that's my genuine opinion. Like I just think Arsenal will find a way to falter. We've got a month to get 3 weeks to get our players back. 9th of April is the first game. It's at Emirates. We have to take a lead back to Santiago Bernabeu. If we don't take a lead back to going back there, we have no chance of potentially qualifying. So
completely agree.
Hopefully Saka can be back. Martinelli's back, so it's good to have him back. Hopefully we can get Saka back before that game, and be somewhat challengeable. In a way, we're going to need him to be able to challenge Real Madrid and the machine that is Real Madrid in the Champions League. But yeah, we were too good for PSV. That's for sure. I beat them 9-3 on aggregate. But yeah, Real Madrid get the job done over Atletico. PSG get the job done over Liverpool. And Donnarumma steps up again, the beast. And look, if there's one other side that I actually do want to win it would be PSG. Just to, in a way, it would be. I mean, if Real win and I fully expect PSG to get through over Aston Villa. I just think they're the better side. If that's the matchup and PSG makes it to the final and beats Mbappe, what a story that would be. No Messi, no Neymar, no Mbappe, PSG in the final. They win it without all of these stars, without all these guys that they bought there to do that for them, especially when they had the trio. It'd be a great story for them to be able to get the job done. But yeah, look, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Arsenal. Obviously, I'm going for Arsenal. It's the only trophy we have any chance of winning, considering we're 12 points behind Liverpool in the Prem. But it's going to be very, very tough against Real Madrid.
And they also lose the Carabao Cup, Liverpool, to Newcastle. So at the moment, they're just losing everything. So very interesting to see what's happening there. But yeah, I kind of don't want PSG to win for the fact that like Mbappe leaves and then they win. Because, I like Mbappe. So anyway, the next matchups are Bayern versus Inter, Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Barcelona versus Dortmund, and PSG versus Aston Villa.
I think obviously the two games of the is Arsenal versus Real Madrid and Bayern versus Inter. I think they'll be absolutely cracking ties. I think Barcelona will be too good for Dortmund over the two legs, and I think PSG will be too good for Aston Villa over the two legs. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, Source.
Rather lose finals than be 13th on the EPL table, says James, obviously Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I'm not having a crack at Liverpool. I'm just saying they lost the Carabao Cup final. Even Ten Hag could win that.
That's a low blow. But jeez.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win the Premier League.
We'll take the Prem over the Carabao Cup. Come on, Dom.
Yeah, he also won an FA Cup too, so can't forget that. So
greatest coach since Fergie.
Well, technically he is. That's a disgrace. Anyway,
horrendous.
let's actually, before we move on, just another reminder before I forget, the Super Coach league code matchup start source this week. So we need to fill it. There's 6 spots. 166195 is a Super Coach code. Share it amongst your friends. Let's get the last 6 spots filled. We don't want randoms in there. We want people from the community. If you want to see what the double coverage team scored, because people gave suggestions, yeah. So we decided to go a bit crazy with this team, and we just put all rookies pretty much, and we stacked the mids. We put every premium midfielder we could, premium rucks. We put Sheasel and McRae, and then the rest of the team is genuinely just all rookies. The team hasn't even got Bailey Smith source. So the theory behind this team is all the rookies will make money, and as they're making money, we just upgrade them all. It's just primos. We've already got the mid sorted and the rucks.
There you go.
Get some primo forwards.
See how it goes. So by the end of the season, we should have a banger side.
And we should just win it all.
We've never tried this tactic before, so it's good to try something different because, well, I mean, we did the usual way last year and it fell to shit.
Next year,
didn't do very good.
Next year, I'm going with a different approach. I've seen some guy created his Supercoach team using ChatGPT.
No.
And it scored pretty well. I think it scored like 2,180, which is pretty high for round 1. So that's next year's little
there you go.
Little plan. Anyway, so join if you can. The code, I'll post it again in our socials, but it needs to be done tonight, tomorrow, because as soon as the game starts, mate. Once the game starts on Thursday, we're cooked. I'll put it in right now, actually. Good call. Supercoach league code is, what did I say it was? 166195. Bang. There you go. All of you jump on it. Done. All right, so let's get to the F1s. It was back. F1's back. I was so happy. And
what a race.
The first race is a banger race. When it's raining, it's going to be banger.
You know, it's going to be entertainment.
Mate. Bloody
we had idiots, absolute lemons crashing on the formation lap, Dom, and delaying the start.
Hadja crashed on the formation lap, and then signs went off as well when they restarted again. On the second formation lap, off the restart, he crashed. So Signs, who won the race last year, cooked. Then the race started, and then Jack Doohan, the Aussie, was quick to go. Followed by Bortoleto, Lawson, and then Alonso. So, funnily enough, of the 5 rookies that started the race, only 2 completed it, as there was only 14 cars that actually completed this race. Ollie Behrman, who finished last in the Haas, funnily enough, source, he practically had like 5 laps on the track before the race because he crashed twice in practice on both days, on Friday and Saturday. So he didn't even go through qualifying because he wrecked the car. But he got through the main race. So he couldn't even get through practice, but he got through the main race. When it was dry, he crashed the car. And when it was wet,
logic, work that one out.
I don't understand. Anyway, winner is Lando Norris. He drove superbly. Shattered for, obviously, Oscar Piastri, who started second on the grid. He spun out at one stage, and it cost him his race. But Norris first, Verstappen second, Russell third. My boy, Kimi Antonelli, future world champion, the Italian stallion, in fourth. He started in 13th or 14th. Ended up finishing fourth. Drove like a machine. Then Albon fifth. Somehow Lance Stroll finished sixth. That's because everyone else crashed. Hulkenberg seventh. Leclerc eighth. Piastri ninth. Hamilton 10th. And then Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Behrman round out the top 10. So interesting race.
It was a great race. It
went from
was very
wet
entertaining
to then dry. And when it went to dry, then we got a safety car when Alonso crashed, and it had not Piastri, Leclerc and Hamilton were first and second, and they had dry tires on. They had slicks, while everyone was putting the wets on. And commentators were saying that if they can just stay behind the safety car in the wet as it clears the driving line, if the race starts again and they're on slicks, both of them will win the race by a minute if they can survive. But the problem was Leclerc, before the safety car, spun out on the slicks. So I think they were a bit hesitant. You just take the gamble, mate, to be honest. I would have taken the gamble.
You got to take the gamble to have a chance. I mean, there's no other way that they could potentially win that race or even get into podium, you know? So
yeah,
why not take the punt? Why not take
the
punt?
They looked okay, pretty average. Lewis Hamilton, obviously still trying to work out the car, the limitations and stuff like that. But I think Ferrari will be very good. You got to remember, McLaren's just ahead of everyone else. Same with the Red Bull. They pulled away. It was literally 3 cars. It was Norris, Verstappen, and Piastri. And then after that, George Russell and the Mercedes.
Yeah, so by the looks of it, it looks like it's the McLaren and the Red Bull that are going to obviously be fighting in this early part of the season. And at the moment, like at this first few races, until obviously other teams maybe tune their cars a bit different, do a few modifications and find a bit more extra speed. And then hopefully we should have a bit more of a, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers having a crack at winning races. But yeah, the McLarens look like the cars to beat at the moment. They got great speed, and you got to think they were out in front of Verstappen. Verstappen only was able to catch up because the safety car, and then he had a 15-second gap on them at one point. The McLarens, I think Lando. So Verstappen only was able to catch up because of the crash, and the safety car gave him the opportunity to maybe pinch the race, made the race interesting. But it was a great first race, ladies and gents. So if you didn't tune in and check it out, make sure you go find the replay and watch it. It was a belter, and Dom is on the record going Antonelli buy his rookie cards. That's what he's saying.
Pretty much.
Because he's going to be
it won't be in this year's product, obviously.
Yep.
It'll be next year's product, I'm pretty sure. Because it's usually the rookies the following year.
He might be in there.
I'll have a look. I've got a checklist to bring up, but
I don't think you'll be in this like the ones that are releasing right now. But you never know if they do a set later, and in a few months you might be in it. For sure.
But obviously you want his Topps Chrome if you can. That's what you want.
Topps Chrome, and he'll have his Dynasty cards that release. I think he'll definitely be in the next Dynasty release for sure.
So yeah. He's my boy. He's the Italian stallion, and he's the one I'll be following. Even that, it'll be Ferrari and then him and Piastri, because I want him to do well. So, and Doohan, the Aussie from Alpine. Well, the funniest thing with that, I don't know if you heard with Alpine, they got 4 drivers. So they got Doohan and Gasly, but there's 2 reserve drivers that are fighting for Doohan's seat. Obviously, Gasly's not going to lose his seat. Now, what's his name? Dr. Helmut, what's his name, from Red Bull, came out and goes, Doohan's a C-grade driver. He shouldn't even be on the track. This was before the race. And all the pressure's on him to perform, or else he'll lose his spot to the 2 drivers waiting in the wings. And he bagged this guy. He bagged Doohan, and he crashed. Liam Lawson, his own driver, the rookie, also crashed. So, like, sometimes it's bad karma. Doohan will be all right. I'm not worried about him. I'm just hoping he locks in. And there's another Grand Prix this week, Source, the Chinese Grand Prix on Sunday, 6 p.m. Great time.
I was going to say it should be a good time for us.
I'll just give you a rundown because it's Chinese GP, then it's a week off, and then it's Japanese Grand Prix, then it's Bahrain the week after, then it's Saudi Arabia the week after, then it's a week off, and then it's Miami. Like it's pretty hectic.
Fake boat party in Miami.
But yeah, so Chinese GP this week, 6 p.m. start, the Shanghai circuit. I'll definitely be tuning into that bad boy. So yeah, over to you for some UFC.
UFC, Doma, that went past over the weekend. Obviously, you had UFC Fight Night 254. Vittori defeated by Roman Dolitza, third round decision. Over the 5 rounds decision. Then you had the welterweight division, Chidi Noikuni defeating Dos Santos. I'm not going to read the first name because I'm going to mess it up, with a KO in the second round. Then you had Alexander Hernandez defeating Kurt Holber with a third round decision. Damon Blackshear defeating Cody Gibson with a submission in the second round. Dia Ngoya defeated by Brenton Ribeiro with a submission in the second round. And Choi Sung-woo defeated by Kevin Velos with a KO in the first round. That was the main card. This weekend, you have UFC Fight Night. It says 254, but I don't think it can be 254. I don't know, because the other one was called 254. So I got no idea. Hang on. Let me just see if I can go to the actual proper UFC website, see what they've called it there. Hang on. UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady. Here we go. Leon Rocky Edwards back in the ring after obviously losing his title against Sean Brady, welterweight division. That will be a cracker. You got Jan Blasowicz against Carlos Uber. This is going to be a cracker. Big Jan back in the ring against Carlos Uber. We know what a machine Uber is. Let's see if he can deal with Jan's grappling. Then you have Gunnar Nelson against Kevin Holland. Molly McCann against Alexia Thainara. Jordan Vucinic against Chris Duncan. Nathaniel Wood against Morgan Chereri. And then you got the prelims. That kicks off from 4 a.m. and the main card kicks off from 7 a.m. I believe this is in London. So that's why it's on at that time. Actually, not a bad time, to be honest, Dom. 7 a.m. Sunday morning. If you're up nice and early, there you go. Tune in. It's just a fight night, so it will just be on, I think, ESPN. So tune in there, ladies and gents. UFC for another week.
Nice. Very nice, Saucy. We're going to jump over to Hobby Talk. First and foremost, so we don't forget, Gimco Trade Day this Sunday.
Yep, Gimco Trade Day this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, off the bat. So get down there if you can. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend. I've got commitments on. So actually, I've got a wedding the night before, so I'll probably be half tank. So I won't be able to make the drive all the way out to Cranbourne.
Yeah,
and then I've got commitments on in the afternoon, so I just won't be able to get there. But nonetheless, get down and support it if you're out that way. I mean, if it's a bit of a drive and you got nothing on, hey, go support it. The lads down there at 4/25 Gwen Road, Cranbourne West, Victoria, they're gonna have a trade day this Sunday. Kicks off from 11 a.m. Finishes at 3 p.m. I believe there is a barbecue as well, a free barbecue. So the lads are putting on something down there. Make sure you check it out. Support them there. The lads at gimco.com.au. And yep, we obviously got to give that a shout out because good to see that they're doing some trade days. It's what the hobby needs. A place for people and collectors to come and community and build a community and with like-minded people in the hobby. So good to see the lads Gimco putting on the trade days. It's not their first one, Doma. They do it quite often. So make sure you follow their page as well on Facebook. So they post all that there.
Stuff there in the banner.
They've got an event. They've got an event page made up for the event this Sunday. So check it out, ladies and gents.
Beautiful. I'll just throw over to my little thing. Just some Topps Finest F1. Staying on the F1 theme. Oop. So no checklist out yet. So 300 cards in total. Here's all the different refractors and whatever, all the hits. Gone blank. F1, F2, and F3 drivers. There's Alonso. There's autos. It looks like there's stickers in this product. There you go. Leclerc. So April 3rd, this is subject to be released. So what to expect in a box: 1 mem, 4 inserts, 8 parallels. So pretty good. And I just looked up the Topps Chrome F2 drivers: Antonelli, Behrman, Bortoleto, Hadjar. I think Doohan's the year before, so
yeah. Look, and for the record, anyone who's thinking that you can buy the F2,
no,
cards and them being worth somewhat something, just in the eyes of people and collectors in the hobby, people do not give a shit about their F2 cards.
no.
So it's all about their first F1 uniform cards.
Yep.
So if you are looking to buy, Antonelli, in this case, as Dom is pumping his tires, that's what you're going to look for.
He'll be a rookie in next year's Topps Chrome product. So, but as Saul said a bit later in the year, if this, you might get some of his cards somewhere.
Yeah, potentially.
All right, over to you. You got anything for us? Great man.
Yes. So, Doma, I stumbled across this video by Neo's Cards and Comics. So I'll bring up the video. So anyone who wants to watch it, they can check it out. It's called $42 million in 1 month from Repacks. Courtyard.io is printing money. And I was like, what the hell is this Courtyard.io? So Doma, with obviously all my investigative skills that I have, I typed in Courtyard.io into the browser and I brought it up and I'm like, what is this? And pretty much what it is, it's the same thing as you may have seen across socials. It's the Fanatics instant rips. They've got like these digital repacks that are backed by cards on their platform that are stored in the vault, and they rip them out. And essentially this is the same thing, but it's also a marketplace, so you can go onto their marketplace and check out items that are bought there. And there you go, Pokemon cards and some sports cards and other stuff. And you can buy the cards. The interesting thing is on Courtyard.io is each card, when it gets sent into the platform, they only accept graded cards, and I believe they only accept at this stage what it looks like PSA, BGS, CGC, and Beckett. SGC, I should say, CGC, Beckett, and PSA. So all 4 of those looks as though. And every time, they only accept graded cards, and every time a card gets sent in, it gets minted an NFT. So, that card gets minted an NFT, and if you are the person to put this card to the, there you go, mint from, each person's got a wallet, and if you are the person to, send this card to the platform and store it in their vault, and then sell the card on the platform, obviously they make a commission on fees. So if you go to the about section, there's like a part where that talks about their fees. But here it goes. Here's an interesting one. Earn a 1% revenue share in perpetuity from cards you vault and sell with monthly payouts directly to your wallet. Right? So if you sell the card and then it gets on sold again, and I believe if you're the person who's you send the cards in, because say I've got 100 cards I want to send into, upload into my vault into Courtyard.io. They take photos of it, they mint an NFT for it, then I'm listed on their marketplace, it gets sold. Every sale after that, I'm going to make 1% on whatever the sale, if it keeps getting on sold. So because I was the person who supplied the card to the vault, I believe that's how it works. So it's quite interesting. They do also talk about their fees. So they have a withdrawal fees. You can also get the cards taken off there, and if you want them sent to you from the platform, they'll do that as well. So it's free to submit the cards to the vault. Withdrawal fees $2 per card. Tokenized fees was free until 2024. Now it's not. I believe they charge you for a tokenizing fee. Seller fees is 6%. There's no buyer fees and no payment processing fees. So that's for your at Courtyard.io and leading marketplaces. They compare it. It's up to 15.5%. Buyer fees up to 20%. Payment processing fees 2.9% to, 2.9%. So they say there, or at least 30 cents for payment processing fees. What they're saying here, they only take 6% fees, and then obviously there's that, you get the residual sale as well. It's pretty interesting concept, if you ask me. And in my opinion, involves to choose between the instant rips on Fanatics and Courtyard.io. I'm going with Courtyard.io. They also do have this interesting thing at the moment where they've got these vending machines where you can, grab a pack, click on it, and it's literally a repack. There you go. You can buy the $100 poster Pokemon Master Pack. You can buy a Sports Platinum Pack, $500. You crack it open and, you hit certain cards. Here we go. Heavy hitters. Here you go. You could potentially hit a Patrick Mahomes rookie autograph. You could potentially hit a Michael Jordan PSA 8 Fleer rookie card. You can also hit, what else do they have here? Some other cards you can hit. You can hit SGA Tie-Dye Prism PSA 10 rookie, which would be worth quite a bit. So these are some of the cards that you can hit in the pack. I don't know how many packs there are. They don't disclose any of that information as far as I understand. They do give you a little bit of an odds situation. The average card value is $500. Odds are calculated in real time. This is not financial advice. Market data and prices are subject to change. Comps are informed by recent sales and data from platforms such as eBay, PWCC, and Sports Card Pro, It's interesting, Doma. I don't want to tell people to go jump on this because, I was one to say jump on StarStock, and StarStock's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. So anyone who thinks StarStock is dead, it's still alive. People still use the platform, but it didn't quite keep the momentum that it built up. Maybe this will. I'm not sure. I think it's interesting to see what they're doing with the digital repacks, and this maybe could be a way of the future of people doing repacks. They send all their cards to Card.io. They create their own repack. They sell it on Card.io. People open from their vending machine on their marketplace store that's on there, and say they've got, they put out the information saying there's 200 in the repack, this and that and that. And you don't know what's hit, they don't tell you, but it tells you, there's say 100 repacks have been bought, so there's 100 or 200 print run left, sort of thing, and maybe people put that up there. And it's interesting because say you buy into that repack, you hit it, Doma, you're instantly got the ability to accept the buyback. So they also on their repacks, that if you buy from that, you can instantly sell it back to them at a certain rate. It might be 70%, it might be a little bit more than that. Or a little bit less, somewhere between 60 and 75%, they'll instantly buy it back. So whatever card you hit, if you don't like it, you can instantly get back 60 or 75% of market value of what that card is you hit. So there's a quick out to get money back if you want to sell it. And then also there's the ability to, produce a high amount of, repacks on the repack side, and then with the people who indulge in the repacks and the break, the punters, you can quickly sell your card. You can also list it on their marketplace and only cop a 6% fee, whereas you're going to cop a 14% fee if you sell it through eBay. So it's an interesting one. I would obviously do a bit more research into Courtyard.io. I only came across this today. Apparently, it's been around for quite a little bit. In that video that Neo Cards and Comics does, and I spoke about it at the start, he does talk into and does go onto this website called June Analytics. And the good thing about the NFT structure that they've got for their cards is you can actually track those sales. And because all those sales are tracked, June Analytics is actually tracking the data on there, and it's spitting out how much revenue they're doing. So interesting one for you, Doma. Just last month, Courtyard.io did $42 million in revenue on their platform. Yes, you got that right. $42 million on their platform last month alone. That's just Courtyard.io. That is a pretty new platform. So imagine what's getting done on all the other platforms. It's literally...
that's mental.
You got to think. People thought this hobby was going to die on its ass. It's very much alive. You've got innovation in the hobby, Courtyard.io. You've got also other innovation of people trying to obviously do apps. I've seen another app that's been floating about in groups and things about collection and price tracking and so on and so on. I'm always up for competitors, Dom, because, obviously I was Cardladder is probably still one of the best, if not the best at tracking things, but it's good to have competition, because with competition makes, a more competitive market for everyone. And hopefully there are some competitors that do push the likes of, the bigger platforms. And innovation like this, Courtyard.io, is obviously a reason why people are still investing money into this hobby, trying to create, different things for collectors and so on. I don't mind this. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind this concept of Courtyard.io, because it's not fractionizing. You're not fractionizing bullshit. Fucking what all fell down the toilet. And we talked about it early days on this show, and we realized it's all just fugars and bullshit. This is not that. These cards are yours. They are in a vault. They're yours. Every card must be graded. You can't send ungraded cards there. I think that's where they've gone well on this as well, Doma. Not like Starstock. They had this issue where they had to also give the singles a grade, even though they weren't graded themselves by a third party. They gave it their Starstock A, Starstock B, Starstock C, Starstock D, and that takes more time listing the cards. Now here they go. They just go, yep, SGC 9. BGS 9.5, PSA 10, PSA 8. You know what I mean? That's already there. They're just taking a photo, they're listing up, they're minting an NFT, bang, it's on the platform ready for you to sell. To sell, I should say. So look, I don't mind it, and the cards are yours, as I showed. $2 if you want the card to come home. It's a $2 processing fee, and then whatever the shipping costs back to you. And if you're in Australia, obviously you get it shipped to Ship My Cards, or the other one, Get It Shipped. I believe it's called Get It Shipped International. I believe it's called is the other one, or Ship My Cards, and then you get it shipped back to Australia. So it's a small shipping fee, and you can ship everything once. But yeah, just check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Something you may be interested in, something you may not be interested in. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. Maybe I might buy myself a repack. I don't know, Dom. It's just, yeah, as I said, I think it's interesting. Whether you do, I'm not sure. Make your own decision. Obviously, do your research before you put any money onto the platform. And yeah, check it out. I thought it was quite innovative, to be honest. I like the NFT feature, and part of the reason why I would probably choose them over the Fanatics platform. Even though the Fanatics platform, it's similar, but I just like the openness of how much money you can see is flowing into that platform. You can see that they've done 42 million in revenue. Fanatics not going to tell you that information, are they? Whereas Courtyard.io are openly, showing you that information, because they're literally NFTs. Every card on there is an NFT. I don't know what they do when the card comes off the platform. If you request it to come home, do they, destroy that NFT for that card? I'm not sure. So, yeah. I'm not sure.
Well, there's a few interesting things being pulled. Pretty cool. Nice concept, to be honest.
It's something different. Make your mind up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only here to show you something that I seen that was pretty interesting. Definitely go watch Neo Cards and Comics video, as I mentioned. He explains it as well. And there's a bunch of other videos and content creators have made these videos. But yeah. It's just, I'll probably actually look a little bit more into it myself, to be honest. As something, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. So make your mind up yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and obviously don't trust some bloke on the internet that's telling you. I'm actually not telling you guys to go put all your cards there and start buying. I'm saying it's cool, check it out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's not for you. Move on to the next thing, and forget about that I spoke about it. It is what it is, pretty much.
Easy. All right. You got something to rip, or?
Yep, I definitely got something to rip. So the lads at Gimco, as we know, they hooked us up. First and foremost, Doma, they've hooked us up with the Select 21-22 basketball blaster box. So we'll rip that today. And then I've also got couple of 40 packs that 7-Eleven has got the packs. So if you're looking for packs, 7-Eleven, the news agents, they don't have the license or whatever anymore, unless that news agents maybe got some off Select's website and selling the packs themselves. I do know a few news agents do that. But we'll rip those few footy packs as well. All right, Doma, let's just go big and then. Oh no, what have I done? Here we go. I don't know how to make myself big. I keep clicking the wrong thing.
Oops. Where is it gone?
They've changed.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. That was the one.
There you go, man.
All right. Let's do it.
We'll also be ripping Footy Stars box each, doing our box war.
Box battle, yep.
As you
look out for that on the channel.
Yeah, that'll come out. We'll probably be doing it live, maybe tomorrow night, potentially. So
this blaster box only has 6 packs. I don't know if you can hit autos in here. Tiger prisms and elephant prisms. There you go.
That's what you want.
Oh, there you go. Evan Mobley, the rookie. And then in the orange, you got Nimaeus Queta in the rookie. He's a dud. He's not a dud. He's a dud in terms of collecting. You got Cameron Thomas, my boy. Talked about him. His cards fluctuated. Have fluctuated a lot. There you go. What else you got? JT Thor. And we got Delanto Batten from the Raptors. Pack number 3.
Love to get
Tiger Prism's coming.
Tiger or an elephant will be elite.
No, I don't think so. There's 3 rookies in every pack. Jeez. Jalen Johnson. There you go. You got Scotty Barnes. Scotty Too Hottie Barnes. And Anthony Edwards, but wrong year. Wrong year for the rookie of Ant-Man. All right. There he is, Camelo. Lakers. Trey Murphy. The rookie. This just base. And then Anthony Simons in the orange. 2 more packs, Donna. 6 inserts or prism parallels per box on average. Tiger prisms. That's what you're looking for, really. Tiger prisms and elephants. Ooh, what's this? Rookie Revolution. Isaiah Todd. Not numbered. It's a nice card, though. Looks nice. What the design. Rookie Revolution. And outside of that, we don't really have much. There's a Moses Moody base rookie. Oh, this is looking like an absolute... Probably one of the worst boxes we've ripped. That and the EPL cereal box that we ripped the other week. That was pretty bad. We got Greenwood. There we go. Tatum. LeBron James. 75 years. Dennis Rodman. Bulls.
Oh, nice. That's
35 years of NBA. That's a nice card.
Nice.
Probably one of the better cards we've hit in the packs. And Ant-Man.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what that is. Concourse. There you go. Not a hell of a lot to jump up and down about. Definitely not as good as last week where we hit an auto, even though it was an absolute dud. It was nice that it's just, even though he was a dud last week, that Brazilian player, it was still nice to hit an auto in a pack because the actual chances of hitting the auto is very, very low.
We've got your Footy Stars, mate. You've got to stay
got the
big.
Footy Stars. Yeah. I got ahead of myself, Donna. Got the Footy Stars. First look. I haven't ripped any packs. This is the first packs I'm ripping. Right here.
Here we go.
Live. Here we go. Let's have a look at the base. Jack Steele. Bailey Dale.
Look like Select.
Caldwell. Doesn't look a bit like Select. There he is.
He
Big
is.
X. Paddy Cripps. In the Luminos. I'll tell you what, they're nice and thick stock, that Luminos.
And they got the thing over the top too. Again, the plastic.
Tyson Stengel, Josh Dacos. I'll tell you what, they've done well on the base cards. They've done well. Done very well.
I'm not too big on the green folder this year, to be honest.
I just buy one every year because it comes with the package that, when you buy the combo,
It's
every year with the
Colby.
Gertrude. Oh, there's that dud, Mackay.
Sabrina Frederick.
Hey,
they're back.
there's our favourite cards. Footy heads.
Hey, Suvlaki.
The Suv. I have to get that one signed.
For
And then a few more
your
base
boy.
cards. Yep. All right, last pack, Doma. There was 5 packs left in this box. So I bought 3 of the 5 packs left in the box at 7-Eleven. So I've actually hit one of the box hits.
Here comes the predictor.
Maybe that's just the Luminous. Because I think you get a Luminous in every pack. There he is. The Coney. Zorks. Abby Mackay. Breakouts.
That's a nice card.
It's
clearly Donruss.
It's clearly Donruss style. It's actually nice, Doma. I will give him that. Very nice. The breakout. Very nice card. There we go. And then
Cody Pendlebury as well.
Jordan Clark. Yeah. Pretty good. I don't know what the breakout, what's the composition? I don't really know. It doesn't say in here. Probably says on the side. It doesn't say on the actual pack. But anyway, there you go. There's the first look at Footy Stars, ladies and gents, from us. Obviously, you probably would have seen it out and about and seen it across the Facebook groups. But good to rip some packs, Doma. Always good. If you really want, I've got 2 more packs. We can see, to celebrate the NBL finals that's going on at the moment. That the Melbourne United is up 2-1 against the Illawarra Hawks. The game playing tomorrow. There we go. We got Kobe Statman, rookie. We got Sam Froling in the that insert.
Retro.
Someone gave me this. I bought a card at a card show, and they gave me. You must know there's a lot of this going around because it's the same stuff that Cherry gave us to give out at Hobby Hangout. What do we got? Akadol Gak in the rookie, and then what are the chances? Another insert and another Sam Froling. There we go. And then we got the best player in the league in the last, 10 years, Bryce Cotton.
Here's a gun.
Absolute beast. There you go. There's a little bit of rip for you, ladies and gents.
Very nice.
Always a pleasure.
On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. It's double coverage, and peace.
Peace. Don't forget to like and thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.